Former Queensland Premier Anna Bligh won the admiration of many Australians with the way she led the state through the devastating floods of 2011. But now she's spoken about her private battle with cancer. She spoke with today's Suze Massara.
Believe it or not, the Australian Women's Weekly is celebrating its 80th year. And plenty of familiar faces attended a stylish birthday bash in Sydney yesterday to commemorate the milestone, including special guest the Governor-General, who declared her long-standing love for the publication.
What a wonderful way for the Weekly to celebrate 80 years. I've only been reading it for 65.
While Princess Mary graces the cover of the special 80th birthday edition, it's the feature story on former Queensland Premier Anna Bligh that will touch women's hearts around Australia. Yesterday was her first major public outing after being diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma back in June.
I was really honoured to be invited by them to be part of their anniversary edition. I have to say it wasn't an easy decision, given what I've recently been through, but I think it's about the women. The Weekly is about women being strong and being able to do lots of things, so I thought being part of it gave that message.
The former Premier is incredibly frank about her experience, explaining, "At the time of my diagnosis, I was 52 years old. I felt like I was in the prime of my life. So it was incredibly terrifying and there were lots of tears."
Cancer's not easy for anybody, and I'm very lucky that we caught it quite early, but treatment is very difficult. And as I say, it wasn't an easy decision to be part of the story, but in the end, I thought it was important to be honest about what it's really like to go through it.
The former politician faced surgery and chemotherapy almost immediately and consequently lost her hair. She said, "I'm honest enough to say there was vanity involved. Hearing that I would soon be bald was almost as hard to hear as my diagnosis."
The symptoms of treatment are pretty tough, but all of it is a very small price to pay for good health eventually.
Everyone says Anna Bligh, she is this super strong woman. She can tackle anything, especially when we saw you through the floods, how resilient you were, and yet you say it's not always easy to be strong.
Look, it's not easy for anybody to always be strong, and I think it's important to admit that there are times when you get knocked for six, and that certainly happened to me this year. Fingers crossed, I can put it behind me, but we're not out of the woods yet. And I just think the Women's Weekly has been such an important magazine that's connected women across the country, whether they're old or young or whatever lives they lead. And my story can make other people feel that they can get through it too, then I hope that that's the message they take from it.
It was so inspiring talking to her yesterday. And when you see that shot there of Anna Bligh, as you just heard in that story, she was nervous about how she would feel and how she would look bald, but I'm sure you'll agree she looks absolutely stunning, almost as stunning as Princess Mary does on the cover. And you too can help thousands of Australians who are affected by cancer to look good and feel better by heading to lgfb.org.au. And there's more on Anna Bligh's story in that new edition of the Australian Women's Weekly.